No, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. Tell me what you're trying to do, cause I be on the road making moves.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of the Played in Full podcast. I'm Juwan. This is Cam and Davaris. Man, I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight. Something that we talked about over the COVID year. And, I'm just happy that we finally got to put something together. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Go ahead, TDL. I'm good, though.
I'm good, bro. Man, just excited. We've been talking about this for a minute, so I'm just happy to be finally putting it in motion, getting people to look at us and hear our voice and see what we got to say, man. That's all.
For sure. I'm usually the quiet one around people I don't know, so this is crazy for me to be on a podcast. This is crazy, but hey, I'm happy to be here. My close friends know I'm a character, so I'm going to bring that charisma to the podcast, and we're going to be good, man. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, so... Like, why did you guys feel like this was something like that we should do? Like, over the year, we went through a lot, like individually, right? But at the same time, we were all going through like some of the similar things with the season being canceled and, just having to figure out our lives. Like, why did you think it was important to like tell our story?
I got a lot to say. That's what it really was. You know what I mean? Like being in COVID, being inside and locked down for so long and all the stuff, last year not having a season, man, just being in the house, I think kind of made me want to stretch my voice out a little bit more and do something more with myself other than just play football. So I wanted to give people, kind of an inside look to who I am, what I think, how my thoughts go, how I am. I'm just like I'm a real even keel type person. I'm goofy. I'm fun. I'm serious. I'm everything, man. So y'all gonna see all that on the show. But yeah, man, I wanted people to hear me. They're gonna hear me now.
Yeah. I think I was mad. I don't know if y'all had that. I was mad. How things went down with us basically being out of work for an entire year. So I just, like TDF said, man, I want to put my voice out there and just show people who I am outside of football, that I'm more than just a football player. You know what I'm saying? So just bring that voice to Ucambre, you know what I'm saying? Be that just be that if other athletes want to come to me and like, hey bro, like you should talk about this on your pod, like yeah, man, I got you. And so I just want to be that voice to the athletes that don't really talk much, that kind of stay to themselves, stay in their lane. So I just wanted to bring that to the pod, and I thought it would be a good idea to bring my boys together, man. We had some great conversations outside of outside of a podcast, just in the group message, FaceTime all the time. We try to link up all the time. So I think we have some good convos, some good debates. So let's just bring that out. You know what I'm saying? See what we can do with this pod thing, huh?
And it's a lot of people who not like, they ain't got nothing to them, no character. You know what I mean? Just like not funny at all. They got podcasts now. Everybody got a podcast. It was about time for us to get together and put together a podcast. So let's do it.
Yeah, I think that we're in a unique situation because like we're all still playing, right? So we're able to use our platform, and we all have like a good relationship with the media that covers the CFL, right? Like we're all painted in a good light, but we're also able to, control the narrative in a sense by having like our own voice and our own media outlet, and also like shed light on things that are going on from our perspective, right, as an athlete, because we're able to like the unique situation that we're in is the fact that we do have like a form of athlete stardom, but we're not at the like, the pinnacle of where we want to be, which was obviously the NFL. And then we're able to relate to people that are, struggling in everyday lives because we went through that ourselves, right?
Still going through it.
Exactly. So I felt like that was pretty unique for us to like cover, right? Yeah. Because if you think about what we went through, right? We were all training. Me and Davaris were training every day in Chicago. I know you were training in Alabama, trying to get ready for the 2020 season. We had just signed to new teams. You were going back to Calgary. And then if you think about it, like we were all just left in the dark, right? Exactly. And we didn't know what was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, I think, when was it, like September hit? And they were like, yeah, there's no season, basically. We're going to, give you guys some government funding, blah, blah, blah. But, basically you're on your own. So you're left trying to figure stuff out during a pandemic, which nobody that we know has lived through before, right? Yeah. So like I was frustrated a lot of the time. And like,
I was mad, bro.
Yeah, that's why for me, like I really started getting into mental health. I really started like speaking out on Twitter, and not necessarily like, being reckless or anything, but just kind of like using my platform to like talk about things that I've been going through, maybe talk about other people, like talk with other people about what they're going through. And like Davaris said earlier, I feel like I found my voice as far as like a social presence, because I've always had like these thoughts in my head, but I would always be like too scared to say it.
Talk about that when we got the news that we wasn't having a season, man. At the time, like I was still in Toronto. Yeah, I mean, I'm in Canada. All I got is a work permit to play football. Like I don't got nothing else out here. So it's hard for an American that's living out here with a family to get a job and, still be there for, real young. My son was probably less than a year old at the time. So like, man, it was a hard time for me for sure. Just to hear that. Then they come out and they tell us that we're not getting paid, but other people is getting paid. Like it was a lot to go through, mentally, physically, that's just that whole year of just not knowing what your next move was. It was tough for sure. And it definitely hurt us for sure.
Yeah. I mean, man, I was coming off of surgery off of 2019 season. So I had knee surgery, and basically I say the pandemic was like a blessing in disguise for me, but more of a downfall. I don't know, like a downfall, I guess, because honestly, it gave me time to get ready for the 2020 season because I had more time. But at the same time, like you said, I wasn't getting paid. Like I'm living in the States, your money, you lose like half your money. People don't tell you that. And when you play in the CFL, bro, you lose half your money when you come back home.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get a job, start teaching. I ain't never taught nobody in my life. You feel me? Like, come on, man. I started teaching, you know what I'm saying?
Not only were you teaching, you were working with behavioral kids.
You feel
That's
me?
Like kids, whole other challenge of itself.
Kids that struggle with, you know what I'm saying, everyday living. But it also opened my eyes to other things. And so now I understand what they were going through. And I understand like kids that have disabilities, autism, behavior issues, learning disabilities, you know what I'm saying? I understand them. So, as a kid growing up in the South, you'd be like, oh, he's just bad. You know what I'm saying? They just be like, man, he's just bad. But really, he going through something. And so that really it really opened my eyes. So that's why I say it's a blessing in disguise for my knee, for new experiences. But at the same time, I feel like, when you lay your body on the line for 4-5 years, we was up there, we won a championship with the team. You know what I'm saying? You blood, sweat, and tears. And to say, oh, we'll just give you like a stack.
That's it. That's all you get.
A Canadian stack. You feel me? A month. We just give you a stack. Yeah, there you go. Go live off that. Like, what? Come on, bro. But, that's why I say I was mad about it. But at the same time, I understood, that it was a 9-team league, and we didn't make it to the NFL. So we didn't have that paycheck to fall back on. So, it hurt more my mental. And I still, to this day, we dealing with that mental, what I'm saying? Back and forth, like depression, real deal depression. Like, what I'm saying? Don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's why I wanted, the pod, we're going to open up about this.
I think like I said, the mental side of that, man, like that was probably the toughest part. Like, my girl lives in Chicago. I was in Mississauga at the time, just outside of Toronto, for those of you who don't know Canada. And, my mom she was out of a job. like you said, we didn't really have money coming in. So, I felt like I was just there, right? Because I own a property in Calgary, but when I'm in Ontario, like I was staying at home just because it didn't really make sense for me to like, rent another spot when I have a property already, right? So, I was at home and like just seeing my mom like stressed and me not being able to do anything about it, like that was killing me, and it was adding to like my mental struggles. And I remember there's just one time like I vividly remember this. It's ingrained in my mind. Like I was sitting in my car outside of the house, and I was talking to Courtney. I was talking to my girl, and I was gonna have I felt like I was gonna have a mental breakdown. Like I was overwhelmed, and she just said like, "Look, like you need to find something that you want to do that doesn't feel like a job. Like it's something that you can wake up and get that same football feeling, right?" And it was like almost like a switch just clicked in my mind, and I was just like, you know what? Like, because I was streaming on Twitch at the time, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start talking about mental health on my Twitch and on my Twitter, and I'm gonna do some Mental Mondays, and ever since then, like I've been like the mental health guy, right? And all it is just simply checking in on people and talking about what's going on in your life.
Yeah, I appreciate them tweets, by the way. I respond every now and then. I don't want to be that guy that respond all the time, but I appreciate that. I really think about it when you say that though. Yeah. Like, how you doing today?
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Like me and Davaris, we were training leading up to the 2021 season, and we there's times he was going through it, I was going through it, and just simply just asking him like, you good? Like outside of football, outside of training, like are you okay?
Yeah.
Like we don't ask each other that.
Nah, because it's not the,
not very
I hate to go to it's not masculine. You know what I'm saying? I hate to pull that card, but it ain't.
Yeah.
Because a guy's supposed to always, keep his head on straight,
right?
Walk a straight line, Yeah, 100%. Always go green on the light, never run a light,
Yeah. But I will ask you guys, like, we're talking about like a lot of negative things that happened during that period, right? That period in time, and like, what do you think that COVID year taught you about yourself?
Go ahead, Z. I can think about this one.
For me, man, it gave me a chance to like actually be around, there for my son. It kind of slowed things down for me. I didn't have nothing to worry about other than taking care of him. So like, for me, it slowed my life down so much that like it gave me an appreciation for all the people that I do have in my life. At the same time, not to be negative, but I lost one of my grandmas to COVID. So I was hurt by that. But like even that, seeing everybody go to the funeral and everybody being together during a COVID pandemic and not, just worrying about that and just coming together as a family. I got a lot of distant cousins that I used to be real close with that we lost contact, and it just brought us closer together. I think for me, it kind of put everything in perspective, not to put so much emphasis on things that really don't matter at the end of the day, and then just kind of, hone in on what, is really important in life. And going from there, Juwan, you could tell, like, when I was working out, like I wasn't the same dude working out this year as previous years. Like I'm paying 2 rents. Like I'm in a zone where I'm like, I can't even focus on what I gotta do. I'm thinking about my son back in Toronto. We in Chicago. Mm-hmm. Like I'm going through it, but that whole time it was like the only thing that was on my mind was, all the closest people to me. So like that, I think that just putting that in perspective for me was a big deal, because I might have lost sight of that beforehand. Mm-hmm. And it gave me a chance to get back to it. But other than that, it kind of forced my hand to start looking at other things outside of football, which I think is good. And just growing as a man, growing as a person, I think that was probably the 2 biggest takeaways I can get from it, and just open my eyes up to different doors that I could probably go through in the future.
And I don't want to. I know you want to say something, Cam.
No,
But
you good. I'm good.
Just off of what TDF said, as far as like he found who he was like outside of football. I feel like for me, that was like one of the scariest things, but one of like the biggest blessings was discovering who Juwan is outside of football, right? And I say it's scary because our whole lives, like we're told one thing, right? Focus on football and the rest will take care of itself, right? And that's something I feel like it works for people who make it, but the people who don't make it, there's like another 99% of people who focused on football and it didn't pan out for them, right? And for me, going through that and going through that like discovery stage of like who's Juwan outside of football, like I know who I am now, right? I'm not just a football player, but going through that stage, it was scary looking at the other side because you're like, this is what my life could be like without football, right? And it wasn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I was able to spend more time with my family. I was able to spend more time with my girl. When I was in Chicago, I was able to go places and do different things. I'm like, this is kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like football, I feel like football speeds up a lot, like a lot of your life. If you think about it, like we've been playing this sport our whole life and we've missed out on events. We missed out on birthdays. We missed out on so many different things and we sacrificed so many different things for the sport out of love. But when you're almost forced to take a look at the other side of things, it's like, oh, this is kind of nice, right?
Yeah.
And then you also we had to get back into that mindset, like we're about to go play football, right? Mm-hmm. We got to train and go play football. And, you know, all three of us know that's a whole different mindset, right? Exactly. There's no thinking, right? Other than I know what I have to do and I got to go do it.
Got to go perform.
You know what I mean?
Because the next man coming.
Exactly.
Wait.
Go ahead. You want to say something to you?
No, you go ahead.
Oh, no. I mean, COVID taught me a lot of stuff. That anger I had, you know, from being in the situation I was, it also motivated me. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I was in the best shape of my life when I was doing COVID. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really motivated me to like really hone in on something that I lost. That, man, I'm trying to get this back. You feel me? So it had this like fight in me. It you know what I'm saying? It grew something in me. So I feel like I can use that to other stuff now. Like you said, like you branched out, you found out what Juwan is not just football. Cam is not just football. So I really branched out and I'm learning how to network. I didn't know how to network before COVID and communicate because I'm very private. I'm a private person. I'm very to myself. If I don't know you, I don't fool with you. You feel me? So it's teaching me, it taught me how to network and how to communicate. And I'm still learning that to this day, you know what I'm saying? But I'm better at it. But so I think COVID taught me that. But family, of course, realizing who in your corner and who not in your corner. Cause you know what I'm saying, a lot of them phone calls didn't ring when COVID was happening. You feel me? Like it was some people that reached out to you, like you said, check on you, but it was some people that usually would check on you when you playing ball, but they ain't check on you when you weren't playing ball. You know what I'm saying? So it just it put a lot of stuff in perspective, and I can appreciate that from COVID. But at the same time, boy, I had it, and I don't wish that on nobody at all.
What it felt like?
Man, it felt like I was in space. You know how people they take their mask off in space in movies, and they be when SpongeBob didn't have no water with Sandy. You feel me? Yeah. Water. That's how I felt. You know what I mean? But them first 2 days was good. I mean, it was bad, but after that it was good. So you know, I don't wish that on nobody. But yeah, COVID shook up the entire universe, I'll say.
It's still here.
It's still here. It is.
Still here, bro. It's getting stronger. Like, I don't understand.
It is, bro. But, you know, it is what it is.
Get back to football, though, JB. At the end of that, we had to realize that we had another season coming up after we signed. Now, mind you, we didn't get paid nothing. We ain't got
signing bonus.
We ain't got nothing going.
They said, we gave you one a year before. You don't get one.
This conversation way different for some CFL people versus like some NFL people. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, they good. They set. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
We got to figure something out. maybe he charging too much. Like, I got to make this money stretch because I ain't had none over the last year and a half coming in.
I will say, like, if you're established in the league, you make some decent money, but you got to be smart with it. You got to be smart with it.
And if you're not, that whole not having a season, not getting another check for a full year, a full season, and half of another season, like, come on, bro.
Bro, you got to also think, like, there was no job opportunities.
No, everything is shut down. Everything
was shut down.
Everybody says, use your network. I'm reaching out to my network. Everybody's like,
where?
You're out of luck. And I'm like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah, but man, look, I don't want to dwell on that. You know, that's very depressing. But that it was tough. It was tough for a CFL player during the corona. So I feel for that's why I'd be like, bro, they'd be like, oh, he leaving for the bag. Bro, go get your bag. Anybody, look, go get the money, bro. If you listen to this pod, go get your money. I don't care who say, don't listen to no coach, no GM. Go get your money, man.
You don't know what can happen.
Exactly. You don't know what can happen, bro. Go get your money. Don't worry about that. If you want a championship, go buy you a ring when you get the bag. You feel me? Don't worry about no chip, bro.
I mean, you can say that, though, because we went to the championship 3 times and we won one. So
I should have wore mine.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't even know. Where is that?
So there's a lot of guys that play and make money and don't ever make it to the championship. And that's at all levels, but obviously that money makes that feeling a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure, bro. If you, bro, I don't know, though. That's just like that meme I be seeing, if you want a meeting with Jay-Z or 100K. I'm taking that honey bun.
What are we talking about? Like,
you feel me? I'm taking that honey bun,
ain't even a conversation.
Man.
Ain't nobody to talk to.
100%.
I'm taking it, man.
But, you know, we came off that season, right? And it was crazy because Davaris went from Calgary to Edmonton to Toronto. I went from Calgary to Toronto, signed back in Toronto. And then the first game of the 2021 season is Calgary versus Toronto, right? Me and Davaris are coming back home to play you, the Calgary Stampeders. You know, how did that feel? One, that like I wasn't there anymore because we were roommates for what, 3 years?
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years?
Man, low key, we were all roommates, remember?
Yeah.
We was all in the same building.
Like we came in the league together. We were like, it was like the Three Musketeers. Like if they saw Davaris, they're like, where's JB and Cam? They saw me, they're like, where's Cam and Didi? Right? So that's just how we were. Whenever one of us was there, one of the other two were close, right?
Yeah.
But then me and Davaris are on Toronto and you're on Calgary by yourself. What was that like?
For me, it sucked. I had to, I ain't gonna lie, it sucked. But like, you know, it was football, so I understood. You know what I'm saying? Like I just said, go get your bag. But it sucked, you know, when you like you said, we won that chip. We lost 2, you feel me, before the chip. So it was tough when you go through something like that with somebody, like you really obtain a bond, man. So it was tough, but at the same time, I ain't want to lose y'all, and y'all got that W, so I was kind of sick. But yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
JB scored, man. They're going to have to run the clip when they show this. JB scored.
Yeah. Certainly making them forget about the bobbled punt, too. Right off the top. Brinkman having a great drive, and the drive is capped off there with a touchdown. It is Juwan Brescacin back in Calgary and caps off this impressive drive. One of the ex-Stampeders scoring against Calgary.
I pulled up next to him too.
I was so tired on that drive. Like we drove from what, like the 15, our own 15 or something, all the way down the field. And then I scored the first touchdown of the season against you. That stuff. It was lit. That was like a storybook.
I was gassed. I was gassed. Yeah, that was fun though. It was fun. It was fun to see y'all on the opposite side, you know. And the coaching staff from Calgary. It was fun to see though.
Yeah.
But you know.
But for you guys personally, right? You know, after that what was it, like a year? It was a year off, right? For me, it was 2 years because I had hurt my knee in 2019. So I didn't play football for 2 years, which was even more crazy to me. Yeah. Having to lock back in and get ready for the season. And then that first game, like, what was that like for you guys? Like, what was going through your mind? Were you guys like overthinking things, or did it feel natural again?
You got it, yeah. Go ahead, man.
I mean, if I'm gonna be real, like that was probably the worst I've ever felt at that point for a first game ever in my life. Like, there ain't no like, can't nobody really prepare you after sitting out a whole season. You know what I mean? Locked down in a house. We never had nothing like this happen before. You know what I mean? So like, after sitting in the house all day, sitting on the game all day, going to training, this ain't the same kind of training I'm used to doing because, you know what I mean, I just got to make something work. So getting to that first game, man, I felt good, but it didn't feel natural at all. Like, I definitely didn't feel like, you know, I was about to go out there and have a crazy game. I mean, mentally I did. That's just how I think. But, like, physically, I knew I wasn't anywhere close to what I was at that point of any other season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First game, that was tough for sure. And it was in Calgary, altitude crazy. Can't breathe already.
My lungs were burning.
You know what I mean? Like, they put us in the worst circumstance for the first game of a season after a pandemic. And I wasn't ready.
And bro, if you were in our huddle, like, and I love my dog Mac, but he was calling plays.
Bro.
Like, we already have a 20-second play clock. We were snapping the ball with 10 seconds on the clock.
Bro, he's
calling these plays so fast. We were in no huddle without being in no huddle.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mac,
it
bro.
was wild.
Yeah, man. I felt I was in a new position too, man. And going against the Hall of Famer, Charleston, you feel me? And a dude from the league, Shane Ray, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, it's about to be rough on me. And I missed the entire training camp with a knee injury. Yeah. So literally I started practice like that week of, and so I missed like 3 weeks. So I was basically rehabbing for 3 weeks. And so, man, I was literally out there just surviving. You want to go dominate, but I was surviving. I'm going to be honest with you. I was surviving. So it was tough, man. It was tough. And, you know, but that just attests to our mental toughness. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like most people wouldn't be able to do that. And so, like, football players, we a different breed, bro. For real.
Yeah. And not only that, like, you know, I think NFL players get a lot of credit for, you know, they're different 100%. They're the 1% of the 1%, no matter who it is, right? But when you play in the CFL, you play because you love the game. Like, without a doubt, you play because you love the game. The money's decent, but you love football if you're playing in the CFL. Mm-hmm. And I really do love the league. I think it has great potential. But obviously, if you're comparing NFL to CFL, like, you know where you want to go because you know where you're going to get the best bang for your buck because you're putting your body on the line, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I think everybody has a price for what they'll play the sport for. And, you know, for us, it's obviously like, you know, what we're willing to sign on the dotted line. So, but like, how do you guys think that your season went overall? Like, I got hurt in week 2, so I didn't come back till I think like the second last week of the year, something like that. But like, Davaris played the whole time, right? And you were off and on. I know you had like your knee injuries and stuff like that, but
my little knee injuries.
That's what he wanted to say.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to say. Wow,
bro, you don't know who's listening. What if you have future employers and they're like, oh man, I'm not sure. He's got big knee injuries.
Nah. I have a little.
Yeah, dog.
You're right about that though. But
yeah, dog.
I say wow, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like. Hey, what's the question? We have to cut this. I forgot the question.
No, I was just asking, like, how do you feel like? And by the way, we got 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
I asked you, how do you feel your season went individually? Yeah, like how you ended.
Yeah, I mean, we lost in the first round of playoffs. And I felt like that first drive, I Big Michael Johnson, Leonard, they got, they some good players, so they made some plays. But like towards the, I started settling in, and I was playing at a high level, and just to go out there and lose like we lost, it sucked. But the season was the season. I felt like coming off a Corona year and sorting season, not getting your full paycheck, you feel me? Like that stuff mess with you going into a game, you feel me?
Yeah.
So for that to happen, I felt like I had a great season. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was ups and downs, ebbs and flows, but that's the game of football, and especially coming off a year without work. 100%. So they, you know what I'm saying? The CFL should be applauding every player that played in 2020.
Yeah, you have different stresses on you than you usually do. Before it's just work out and get ready, and now you got to figure out how you're gonna make money, blah blah blah. Like, well, go ahead, TDF.
Man, for me, I think I don't even know how to judge this season, honestly, because I ain't never been in a situation like that. But from a play standpoint, like, I feel like as the season went on, I kind of got back into that groove. I finally, started to get back into my old self. I didn't really hit many goals that I had coming into the season. And, hindsight, I think that was kind of expected. But while you in it, obviously you want to do, the best that you can, get as many, yards, catches, touchdowns, whatever you can to help the team. But yeah, I ain't really hit any of my goals that I set for myself, but I definitely got better. And that was a big thing for me. And I think as a team, we started to get better. I think we had a lot of commotion in Toronto, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe y'all seen it after we lost that game. We had a lot of commotion just in that locker room. So, like, as a team, I think we really improved. I think we'll be much better going into the second year, getting a lot of guys back. But, yeah, man, I don't really know how to judge that year at all. It wasn't great for me, but I wouldn't say it was bad by any means.
Yeah, I think for, like, anybody, like, whether you had a bad or a good season, like, it was just a weird year, right? Yeah, it was almost like you were taking the training wheels off, and it was like, okay, go full speed. Like, we sat down in a dorm room for a week before we went into camp. Like, when do you ever do that? We're training for a year, and you go sit down for a week, and then you go. Football camp is one of the worst things ever anyways, right? Well, not the worst things ever, but it's pretty grueling on your body, right? Yeah. So to sit down for a year, I mean, to work out for a year and then sit down for a week and then have to go into, like, power practices and just the camp.
They expecting you to play at a high level, to be able to practice at a high level.
Exactly. You weren't even able to like train how you usually do or take care of your body how you usually do.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. But hey, that's the beast we deal with, huh?
You feel me? So I mean, we're here. We're where we are now. But I mean, moving forward, like with football, like what are you guys looking forward to? Or maybe not even without football, like just with life. Like, now that you guys found, like, your identity outside of football. And, you actually got a year of football under your belt.
I mean, I say, like, moving forward, like, I'm not putting all my chips in one basket. I say that.
Eggs?
I'm not. Well, no, I don't eat eggs. I don't eat eggs. I eat chips. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, eggs in the basket, man. You know what I mean. But yeah, I'm not putting all of them in one basket and just, football is just football now at this point. It kind of, the game, I wouldn't say the game let me down, but the CFL let me down with that year. So it kind of took, a little bit of love away from me. But I'll say this though, if I'm back on the field in 21, 22?
22, yeah.
Right, we made it to 2022, by the way. But anyway, if I'm on the field, like, you gonna have a real dog, man. I'm just saying that. Yeah. So I'm gonna just put out, I'm real motivated. Go ahead, Zero.
Go ahead, JB, man. Let me hear from you real quick.
I mean, for me, it's simple, really, just staying healthy and, like, I've had 2 years. 2019, I was injured. Last year, I was injured, and I mean, let's be honest, like football is a contact sport. Like both things that happened to me were just part of the game, right? So for me, it's just still proving that, you know, I'm a guy and that's all I care about, staying healthy and just proving to the people who are doubting me, like, you know, I could still ball, you know what I mean? So I'm doing way less like showing what I'm doing as far as work and stuff and just doing more work.
For the cameras,
100%.
Everything that happened, you know, that, you know, kind of ruined my fire for the game during that pandemic year, just because it wasn't there in my life. It all came back when I started seeing my son run around, you know, pick up a football, start throwing the football, you know, put my jersey on for the first time. And I was
dope.
Like when I grew up, man, my parents had me when they was 19 and my dad played at UGA and he went on to play 15 years in the league. So like I seen every part of his career. So like when my son put my jersey on, like it took me back to like when I was a little kid and like, it was this one picture that like, you know, ingrained in my head just from when it happened. I was probably like 4 years old at the time. My dad carrying me with his mom, you know, on the field. And I got, you know, I'm a young pup, like this is my first time being on the field, like, you know, feeling that. And just so having that, you know, in the house and him watching me every day, trying to mock all my moves, like it inspired me for sure. And like, it gave me like that little kid juice. Like I'm excited about the game again. I want to play, you know, as long as I can, you know, that my body can hold up. And I'm just ready to really prove myself this year after getting, you know, my feet back wet last season and, you know, just trying to, you know, be the player that I know I am and, you know, putting that out there to the world.
Yeah, it was dope seeing like, especially like, man, we've seen Jet grow up, right?
Man, we seen Jet in the tummy.
He calls us Uncle JB, Uncle Cam. So like seeing him running around and wearing your jersey and stuff, it's like, it's crazy. It's actually really cool to see.
Yeah, it's dope.
But on that note, we appreciate everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, man. I'm looking forward to next week's episode. And everybody have a great night. Peace.
Peace.
On location TLC. Yeah. Tell me what you're trying to do, 'cause I be on the road making moves.